Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Nix in Serbia, and I have been traveling through Serbia. I went down south. Okay, I'm not gonna exaggerate. I mean, I went for the day, but I did see, hold on while I pronounce it, Divčibare, I think, and Zlatibor. I really like Divčibare, but Zlatibor, I had a horrible experience. And I don't even, we're gonna wait and I'm gonna fill you in on that whole experience in the video. But you know how I first like to just show my stupidity? Okay, so we're in Zlatibor and my father-in-law is looking at Rakia to purchase, and the bottles all have fruit inside of them. I know, Serbs, you guys are all like, okay, what's the big deal? I and my children are staring at it like, how the hell did they get the fruit in the bottle? And so I'm staring at it, and I'm staring at it, and my father-in-law finally says, What are you looking at? And I say, how'd they get the fruit in the bottle? Okay, loco. I think he thought I was joking, right? So my kids are like, no, Mom, for real, how'd they get the fruit in the bottle? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, Tata, do they take dehydrated fruit and put it in, and then when it goes into the liquid, it expands? No. Do you really not know? I'm like, I really don't know. I don't know. Okay. Guys, for the people who aren't Serbian and the people who aren't, I guess, Balkan, Slavic, from this part of the world, I don't know, maybe Europe knows this, but I'm pretty confident 90% of our Canadians don't know this. Okay, so when there is a fruit inside the bottle, they take the bottle and put it over the fruit as it's growing from the tree, and then it grows in the bottle, then they pluck it, and then they fill it with the rakia. Wow, how could I have not thought of that? First of all, that's intelligent. Second of all, where are these trees with bottles hanging off of it? I want to see them. Where are these people? Anyways, let's talk about my little road trip that ended up in Zlatibor and all the experiences along the way. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm supposed to be filming for you guys, but Kamora just hung her clothes outside for the first time in her life, and she didn't put something on top of the drying thing, and her gachis and bra flew down and fell over, and they're in the yard where we live. It's just really funny. Okay, for real. Let's. She asked me, please stop recording for a minute. There's a problem. Okay? Let's get into this. Today I feel like Dora the Explorer. Backpack. So when my husband and family came to me and was like, we're going to go drive down to Divčibare. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correct. Anyways, I was like, and then do what? And they're like, we're going to look around. And I'm like, okay. And they said, maybe we can find a weekend home or something down there. I'm like, but it's Serbia. It's like leaving my house to just go to another house. It's going to be the same. Serbia is Serbia, no? What I see in Belgrade, I see in Novi Sad, except one's busier than the other. What I see in Vrdnik, Ruma, Irig, I don't know, all these other places aren't very different. Biocin, Petrovaradin, Rakovic, Jazyk, Anyways, please excuse that squealing noise. Let me take care of the window so you can't hear that. Hold on. Husband to the rescue. Okay. So I was like, I don't get what the big deal is, but whatever. I'm always down for pictures in a road trip, so let's do it. We start our drive and we decide we're going to take my niece and nephew in the car with us because we're going to sing Disney songs at the top of our lungs. We did that. And we do that all the time when we do road trips. In Canada, we did quite a few road trips. In Serbia, we've already done road trips. So yes, I'm an experienced road tripper. Anyways, so first we go through Valjevo. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Let me look it up. Yeah, I think Valjevo. And I was pleasantly surprised at how big that place was because I have a really good Serbian friend who is originally from there, and he always made it seem kind of, I don't know, small to me, but then again, that's me. Because when Mickey used to explain Serbia to me, I was like, it sounds like everyone's a farmer. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so I was pleasantly surprised at how built up it was, and I actually thought it was huge and really nice. And I'm like, oh, okay, like this is really cool. And then we drive to the D place, Divčibare, and we're going to a restaurant there because at this point now, we left till like 10 in the morning. It's now like 12:30 and we're hungry, or 12 o'clock, sorry. And the first restaurant we go to is closed for a private event. I'm like, oh my God, this doesn't look like a big place. When you first drive into that town, it is beautiful. Kako lepo. Lepa, kako lepa, kako lepo. It is beautiful. There are the most, okay, so I'm not a big fan of those, like, I'm going to put a picture. It's probably going to be better to understand than my picture with my hands, like I'm playing charades. But like, I'm super modern, but I really liked the style. And there's like a little train and quads and motorcycles. And I instantly feel like I'm in vacation mode. I'm not, but that's what it felt like to me. I was like, ooh, I'm enjoying this. So we get to this restaurant, it's closed for a private event, and I'm like, we're screwed. Like, how many other places, really nice places, is this one town gonna have? And so another car is pulling out. That's another thing. License plates are from everywhere there. It's not just, you know, from that actual town or that actual district. I mean, I'm seeing license plates from everywhere. So I'm like, now where are we gonna go? And the car pulling out, BG plates, Belgrade, for those who aren't in Serbia. Hey, P.S., just let you know, in Serbia, the license plates reveal the place that everybody lives. I know, crazy. Anyways, and he says, hey, there's another really nice restaurant that you guys can go to, and it's called Royal Mountain Hotel, I believe. And we're like, okay, we'll check it out. So we look at the reviews. It's got good reviews. My sister-in-law finds something she'll eat. I find something I'll eat. Hey, let's go. Let's go. So we venture on over, and I'm like, wow, this is even nicer than the place we were just at. How does this small town, which feels like it's just really a strip going through, have like these two really nice restaurants? And I don't even get that type of food or quality I feel in Novi Sad. Anyways, so we go to this restaurant, we enjoy our food, and now we've decided we need to keep going on our trip. Now, driving through, like I said, you're seeing quads. There's these little shops, quaint, cute, homey, but vacation feel. Everyone there looks chill. They've got their shorts. They've got their swimming stuff. I didn't get to see where they're going swimming or what's really happening there because it was really just a stopping point for us to continue on our way. Okay, there was a place that had really cheap land that was in between Divčibare, and Zlatibor. I think it started with an R. I mean, hit the comments below if you know where I'm talking about. They had like this man-made kind of like lake. Pictures here for you. And it was far away from everything and not my idea of a weekend home place. Divčibare, this is where my weekend home would need to be because this is more me. Somewhere to go and eat, somewhere to go mingle, have coffee. Yeah. So we continue on our way now and it's storming. I mean, we're getting crazy weather, no supercell, but we're getting a crazy storm, lightning striking everywhere. Boom, we end up with no reception. And we have no reception. The other car, which had my brother and sister-in-law and my parent-in-laws, mother and father-in-law, they're in the other car. And so we're trying to just follow each other, but we're like completely lost at this point. And we pull over a car that's driving by. Hey, stop. And their plates are Belgrade. And we're like, how do we get to Zlatibor from here? And they're like, I don't know. We have no reception. We don't know how to get out of here either. We end up getting reception. We end up in Zlatibor. And I am like uber excited. I'm like, oh my God, I've heard so much about this place. I've heard more like great things about it than I've heard negative. My nail person tried to say to me, hey, you might not want to go to Zlatibor, Nicole. It is now commercialized and too much. And I'm like, what's commercialized in Serbia? I mean, isn't commercialized to the Canadians because we've seen commercialized. Yeah, no, I was wrong. I can accept when I'm wrong. I can say when I'm wrong. As you know, I'm okay to call myself stupid, so I'm definitely going to be okay calling myself wrong. Problem number one, couldn't find parking. I'm like, wow, like there's a lot of people here and there's a lot of buildings and tons of construction. We finally find a spot to park and we see a sign that says Plaza da Prodaju. And I'm like, oh, there's like land for sale here. Let's call and see how much land is in Zlatibor in case we like it after we're done like walking the strip. What if we really like it here? Oh my goodness. Do you know that the land in Zlatibor is like more than buying a piece of land somewhere in anywhere I can think of really in the United States, with the exception of California, and anywhere in Toronto or anywhere in Canada. Okay, so it is in ours, in Serbia. To get a piece of land that's 24 Rs costs 65,000 euros per R. You guys do the math because I don't have my calculator open. That's just for the piece of land. 65,000 euros per R. When my husband said it to me, because he had to call because I don't speak Serbian, as you guys know, I was like, you should call back. They meant 65,000 dinars per R. No, he called back. No, they meant what they said. At this point, we have not walked the strip. I am just in like complete shock. I'm baffled. I'm feeling like I don't belong in Zlatibor. I am not a millionaire. I don't belong here. What am I doing here? Who am I? Okay, so I'm like, okay, we just got to keep going. Now we get to the strip, and imagine, we all need the washroom at this point. We've been driving for a long time, sightseeing. Anyone who has visited Zlatibor should already know the problem here. Washroom? There is no public washrooms. Okay, but side note, we don't know this yet. So we get there, and anywhere that we've been so far in Serbia, when you need the washroom, they're more than welcoming for you to come in. So, you know, we walk up to a restaurant, and the waiter looks at my sister-in-law and says, washroom? And she says, yeah. And he says, it's just right here at the back here, just go straight through. And my father-in-law says, how did you know we needed the washroom? And he said, oh, everybody needs the washroom. So she goes and uses the washroom and comes out. And we're standing there talking now. I went into a totally different restaurant to use the washroom. And we're now standing socializing, waiting for everyone to reconvene because, you know, the boys went to go move the car. We found better parking. Long story short, a really rude individual comes over to us and starts to say something to my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law standing there. My sister-in-law is Portuguese. She also does not speak Serbian. And I can hear he's talking about something, voda, struja. So I'm now understanding he's complaining. Okay. So I said after he finished, and she said, did you understand him? I'm like, no. I'm like, Mom, what did he say? And my mother-in-law looks speechless. So at this point, and the guys aren't with us, my father-in-law, nobody. At this point, I'm like, okay, something's going down. I got this. And finally, my father-in-law walks over, and he says to my sister-in-law, you don't speak Serbian now, but you were just speaking it. She wasn't. So my father-in-law now interprets what he's saying to us. He said, you're using my water, my paper towel, my electricity, and you're not going to eat at my restaurant or sit and have a drink at my restaurant. And my sister-in-law says, I'm really sorry. Your server said that I could use the washroom. I didn't even ask. He said to me, looking for a washroom? It's here at the back. Now, I'm not going to name this place because I'm sure many people have had this experience, and they're one of the lowest star rating restaurants in that Zlatibor little area there, right at the front where there's a group of restaurants. So I'm sure you can figure this out on your own. And he walks away like in a huff and throws his hand up to her apology. I'm baffled. I'm at a loss for words at this point. And again, my husband's not with me. I have a bad temper, believe it or not. I'm sure none of you actually would believe that, but I do. I have a bad temper. And I actually find it very fortunate that I can't speak the language at some points, because some things happen here and I'm like, ooh, if only I could say how I really feel. Anyways, I pull out 200 dinars, which is more than what his electricity, his water, and his paper cost. And I walk over to him in front of his friends, and I'm like, here's 200 dinars for your water, electricity, and your paper. And he says to me, you can go give that to the server. I said, no, I think that's your job. And I put it down and walk away. We hadn't eaten dinner yet. What if we had decided that was going to be our dinner place? Talk about really ruining the opportunity for us to even want to eat there. We had just arrived. There's 11 of us. Like, it would have been a great opportunity, and nobody was eating there. So really, I feel like the frustrations actually just came from his business not doing well, unfortunately, but that's not our fault. Anyways, I paid my dues. So now we're going through, like, you know, that strip in Zlatibor. father-in-law is like, I need a money exchange place. Do I dare even try to say this? Menjechitsna. I say it like that because I feel like that's the best way that I get, the closest way to saying it. And shout out to my subscriber, Nanad, who's been trying to teach me how to say these words. And of course, my husband, who is always working with me and correcting me, but some words just don't stick. And this is one of them. Anyways, so every one of them don't accept Canadian dollars, where here in Novi Sad area, or Belgrade area, they all accept Canadian dollars. So anyways, we couldn't exchange money, and everything was so commercialized, so busy. We've seen a pickpocketer. If you are on TikTok, my sister-in-law follows that French woman who screams, is it pickpocketer in France? And she's like, I wanted to do that. Unfortunately, I had my purse behind me, but fortunately, my sister-in-law was watching, and she said pickpocketer, and I turned my purse. So just be careful. Serbia is a fantastic and a safe place, but there is still, unfortunately, some bad apples. Everything seemed very, I don't know, overpriced in like a setting of a mall. It could be. There were some cool things. There was a Ferris wheel and some bumper cars, some things. We're in Zlatibor. Sleeping, except for Mickey and I. And Xavier and Leia. Look at, they have a bear. Wow, look at a bear. Oh, that sounds really safe. I'm going hot. That I wouldn't necessarily use because I don't trust fairs that get set up and abandoned. Like, not abandoned, it's not abandoned, but it's been set up for a while, and I didn't trust those in Canada. I don't trust them anywhere really. So we didn't end up doing that. We did see that there were like some slides. There were some cool things for the kids. Unfortunately, it started raining again, and we decided, you know what? Forget eating. Forget anything. We're not really enjoying this. There's a bunch of clothing stores. We've overpaid for some gelato that was really crappy. We did have some good gelato though. This place had like, I don't know, dairy-free, vegan-friendly, gluten-free, lactose-free options of gelato, and most of our group ended up getting food from there. For my North Americans, I'm going to say Zlatibor most reminded me of Niagara Falls. And if you have been to Niagara Falls, you know it's busy and you know it's really just commercialized and you're overspending on everything, that's Zlatibor. There's so many other nicer places that you could go and have like a wholesome experience. The people are friendlier everywhere else I've been. Will I return to Zlatibor? I'm going to go with no. I probably won't return to Zlatibor. It would take a lot for me to want to come back to a place that we didn't really feel welcomed. The drive home though was beautiful. There were so many things to see, so many rock formations and beautiful mountains and rivers. It was gorgeous. But it was a long way home at that time. It was, I think, 3.5 hours-ish, depending on your speed to get home. And I won't be doing it again for a while. My next road trip is when I go to Greece. And that's coming up soon, and I will definitely share footage. Anyways, as always, I love talking to you. Vidimose. Ciao!